Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to yet another 30 degree. We had one last week or earlier this week, whenever it was. 30 degrees this morning. It's made it up to 49 now. It's beautiful. I love having a little mixture of clouds. It gives definition to the skies, and like when you see mountains and stuff, it makes it more defined. Instead of just a solid blue sky. Although there's nothing wrong with that, but I prefer a little puffiness out there. But should be a beautiful day. Our rain, the rain that we were supposed to have yesterday was very minimal. In fact, I don't know if while we were there, I don't think it ever rained in Vancouver. Just rained as we got north. But anyway, let's start off a beautiful Thursday. Y'all come on along. 55 degrees and beautiful out here. It's only supposed to be in the mid 60s today.
Nice.
It'll be nice and comfortable.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot warmer than it was earlier.
Yeah, 30 degrees at home. Boy, that was biting cold. Everything is all crusty and frosty.
Yep, it was crunchy.
That's crazy. Look at how those swings
I know.
this time of year. But Mama,
Yes, I have.
we have officially made it to Thursday.
Yeah.
I've been thinking it's been Thursday like all week.
I know.
Yesterday, I've been just hopelessly a day ahead all week. It's crazy.
Poor Hubby.
Eventually, it'll get all sorted out.
Yep.
Well, Mama,
Yes, Hubby.
let's go on in there and bust her out.
All right.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful day there, Mama.
You too.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you, Hubby.
All right. Bye-bye
Bye.
now. We're back to the RTS. What's that, 19-something, 2011. Hold on, I got names showing here. So there's this brand new Yuasa battery. She's sitting at 0.3, which is absolutely perfect. And you had, oddly enough, this is a brand we sell. I don't think we have any of the Spyder batteries in this size because they don't have enough juice. Yeah, 340 cold cranking amps. It's starting it, but it's showing like 5% health. I don't know how the thing's working at all. But, man, it's got those armrest kits that were a common thing back then, and all that blocks all this stuff. But the reason I came on, I've told you guys multiple times about the negative cable. There's also this little small guy that's in here. Well, that thing will fall out of the way, and yeah, when you try to run this thing without that extra ground on there, it creates all kinds of havoc. She's not in a happy place. And then I've seen people, disconnect this positive thing from the relay, and all these cables Y off going every which way. Just leave them cables alone. Don't try to access that as an accessory port. I've seen tons of people do that. Doesn't work out very well. But yeah, she'll live. The old Spyders had that like harmonic balancer on the end of the dry pulley. That was funny. So on these old ones, you had basically a sheave on the inside and the outside on these, and I think there's actually a sheave on both sides. Some of the new ones, do the new ones have it on both sides? I want to say it only has it on one side. It's open on one. I don't recall. I know that if you look down when you do an alignment, you look all the way through with a flashlight, it never rides perfectly on that front sprocket. That freaks a lot of people out. That's just the way it is. Always has been. Anyway, 9/8 of 22. I'm surprised it even lasts that long. But in a pinch, and if you're on a budget, you can get away with those. But yeah, just not enough horsepower in those things for these Spyders. And these twins, man, do they flat use some juice. What is it? So anyway, the ants seem to be minimized. I just seen one crawling around. So leaving that thing sitting there baking in the sun on that warm day earlier this week, that was a trick. I hear, you probably heard it in the video when I was riding it, the pre-muffler, which is also the cat inside there. If you short run these things, it tends to they rust, and a piece of the something in the baffling or whatever inside there comes loose, and you hear that clackety clack sound. Especially when they're cold. Once they warm up, it goes away. But man, when they're cold, they literally sound like they're coming apart. And essentially they are. But yeah, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, there is something you can do. Never short run them. If you ride them, run them. You even got the little notice on these things. They have to be up to temperature. 15 kilometers, 9.3 miles. Yeah, that's the one. Oh no, it's not, because there it is, still sitting there. That was moved yesterday. Those things sure are impressive, aren't they? Big old behemoths. Oh, he's getting a roof. All right. Still haven't done any research on this thing. Probably not that big of a deal. It does run good. Just kind of a pain to get it warmed up. But once you get it going, it's got good power. The fuel seems to last forever in it. Way more than, geez, probably 3 or 4 battery packs. It goes a long time and has a lot of power. But anyway, it's good or bad. That's all I'm doing to this thing. And then I'm doing a service and that fuel cap on that police bike. And we'll roll from there. I'm saving his pad so he can see the grinding on him. All right, man, he can clean this thing up. And it wouldn't be much to clean it up. Needs a seat. That thing's nasty. But if you clean this thing up, it should look real good. I mean, it doesn't have like any kind of damage or anything to it. I'd probably go, if he still has them, I'd put the foot pegs back on that thing. Those janky, I've seen those things before. It's just a weird setup. But it works if you want some kind of floorboard. But I didn't mind the pegs on this thing at all. I actually enjoy the pegs. When it comes to the 22 and newer, that great big long floorboard, man, that is so nice. Really nice. I like how you can just have, infinite foot placement. You can have them forward, one back. And you still have the option, to go, cafe racing, just put your feet back on the rear floorboard, and that's really cool. I love my legs being back. But I never, people put outriggers and stuff on there, and the only time I've used a running peg was when I was on that Indian Chieftain, and what was that, the 2015 run? Yeah, 2015, where we did the Yosemite. Is that right? Yeah, it was Colorado, Yosemite, then it was Yellowstone. Anyway, I got a cramp in my side. We're going along the Highway 1. I don't think that was 101. I think that was actually Highway 1 in California. We went through remember the Hooker Dimple Road? That was Triple X's naming for it. It was appropriate. But that thing popped out on the coastal highway, and we're driving along, and man, this cramp was killing me on the left-hand side. And the one thing that worked was to take my left hand, or I think it was my right foot, or whatever. I put one up on the highway peg, the old, the stirrups, and the other one all the way back, put it on the rear peg or floorboard, whatever it was, and it just torqued my body in a way that it made that cramp go away. Geez, that lasted for like an hour or better. No idea. From some gas bubble or something. That was crazy. I mean, I was hurting so much it was starting to make me nauseated. You ever get that? Like you get a headache so bad it makes you nauseated? Well, speaking of nauseated, that seat on that thing, holy moly. That thing has got to be the world record highest level torture device on a motorcycle ever made. I'm talking about getting nauseated. That pain would come up my back and it'd end up in my head and my neck, and wow, that was literally the worst ride I've ever taken in my entire life. I couldn't return that thing back to the store here fast enough. And then the heat from that thing, holy moly, unbearable heat to come off of that thing. Wow. Good thing I'd already had all my kids, because probably wouldn't be able to now. But anyway, let's get back to this thing. There she is. Terminals connected. Use dielectric grease. Always use dielectric grease. Make sure everything's clean, greased. I didn't show, or maybe you noticed, I cleaned that tray that it sets in, because it sets in and it clicks. You got to push it to the right to click it into all the way into the base. Well, if that thing's clean, or if it's dirty, you'll fight to get that battery to go thump. And you can tell it's not in because it makes it almost impossible to get that battery strap on there. There you are. And on these old ones, not on the new ones, these old ones, make sure that small ground strap is attached. But yeah, not a good thing if it's not. There's where some of your fuses are on these old ones. This little cover that pops back. Another mistake people use is this ground over here. They think that that's a place that they can use it as a ground. Well, that is a 6mm bolt going through an 8mm hole, and it has a nylock on the back side of it. You'll get it loose, but you can't get it tight again. Guess what happens when your main ground is not tight with the frame anymore? Yeah, all kinds of CAN bus stuff. So yeah, this is a great place to jump the battery, or hook up a air pump or something like that, but don't attach accessories to that thing. Plus, it's a bad place to start the wiring, is from that area. You'll open these things up, and as you see, there's little rubber things that hit the seat all over the place here. See, there's 4 here. Look where it's eaten through the label that's on it. And then you got the 4 here. Well, I'll see spider webs of wires going across there, and they short them out. You're sitting on the wires, and they short them out. Not a good place to have your accessories going. If it's something that goes directly to the battery, go directly to the battery. And they got these little hooks inside here. You can see it sticking out. It's missing the one over here. Oh, this is an older one, doesn't have 2 of them. But anyway, you can run the wires along through here and make sure that they're not touching the tank. And wrap them with some of that rodent retardant, or better yet, get some sheathing like this, because that'll rub on that tank. And needless to say, look at that. Needless to say, you don't want something hot rubbing against a fuel tank. And that fuel tank is grounded, by the way. So, yeah, not a pretty thing. Don't mess up your wiring. Better yet, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it at all. There's things that I run into, I don't know what I'm doing. And I get help, And I've seen enough disasters just in my profession to be messing around with somebody else's profession and costing myself a whole bunch of money. Now the fun thing is get all this wiring all crammed down there beside that battery in a safe manner. That's always fun. But some people get it in there better than others, and it can make it interesting to get it out. But anyway, let's get this thing buttoned up. Get onto the police bike here. Uh-oh. See the weird, I don't know if that's showing up in camera, kind of a gold color it has to it. That and the smell. It's not really strong, but it's there. It's the smell of clutch. And I think this is a new rider on this one. I love how they got their little scars on them. That means they're out there riding them. Ooh, look at the color of that rear rotor. Are you nice and round? Oh yeah, you're nice and smooth. Pads are getting there though. Yeah, they still got. They're kind of surprisingly thin when they're new. That rotor's definitely been hot. Of course, if he's new guy, he's probably been doing training too, and they're hard on him. If you guys haven't learned, rear brakes are very important for brake and clutch. Very important for real tight maneuvers where you don't want to be touchy-feely your feet all the time. Yeah, he probably went through training with this thing. Look how discolored the front rotors are too. But if you're riding them hard, that's not unusual. He's about the same thickness up front. They actually have little grooves in there. And they say, of course, if you go by BMW spec, you'd replace them every 1,000 miles. Their specs are absolutely ridiculous. I mean, literally, every time you came in, well, even way before a service. I mean, it's the amount of wear before they say you should replace them. It's ridiculous. You just literally can't go buy it unless you're trying to make money in your shop or something. But if you look at the venting grooves in there, when those getting close to disappearing, that's when you definitely need to replace them. But yeah, if you're looking shop manual for these things, it's tight. Oh, by the way, don't have access anymore. I did Friday. I'll come in Monday, and the air client is gone. It no longer works. It says, well, let's see, let me I'll tell you what it says. I'll just open it right quick. Let me, I happen to know, move, I just want you to open. I know a VIN number I can stick in here. I don't know why this thing well, it's a really easy number. So hold on just a second here. But when you put any VIN, doesn't matter which, it says vehicle not found, or you do not have authorization to display this vehicle. So, and I verified in the the last recording. Again, I can't exactly show you this. Just bounce in. Yeah, I'm absolutely in the BMW server. So the server's not closed. They said they would let me know before they shut it down. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. Because the last thing I could get into was that air client. And the only reason is it was installed locally on the server. And I've been seeing updates coming through. I'll come in the morning and it shows that, the ISTA and stuff has been updated. And I think, they realized they were still sending those updates, or one of those updates kicked that out. I don't know. But the air client was just an app installed on the server. And I just have a hyperlink to it that displays it just does that. But anyway, she's gone. Can't get in there. So the last bike, oddly enough, was this bike last week or whatever it was. That was the last service that I can build through Air. And it shows me everything that BMW recommends and when the next service is due and all that stuff. It looks all official and legit. Plus, if you have any question whatsoever, through Air I have all the full service manuals for anything. I just put the VIN in and I have the full service manual. I can look up parts. I can look up all that stuff. And yeah, well, that's come to a close. She's all over. I mean, we haven't been a dealer for how many months now? So I was, almost forgot the privilege that I had that I could get in there. And it just kind of had that feeling in the back of my head to just always be there, that it'd probably get outdated at some point. But nope. Some part of it must have been, talking to BMW, or when those updates are installed, they're going, hey, wait a minute, he's accessing, air and pulling, VIN inquiries, basically, because it's kind of a weird VIN inquiry, not the official one, but through air, it'll show any updates or whatever that are needed. So anyway, gig's up. So at least I know exactly what to do with this, and from there on, we'll have to, do it the old-fashioned way, look up what the menu says for the bike. But these guys do everything so erratically, it's not always necessarily on the mileage mark to do it. So we'll just have to look like valve adjustments. When was the last one? Add 20,000 kilometers to that and go, yeah, or whatever that is. You do for your next, I think it's 30,000 kilometers. Do your next valves inspection. But dang it. Well, technically we're not a BMW dealer anyway, so it's at this point it's neither here nor there. But it is cool because the State Patrol doesn't like their options where they have to go to get them serviced otherwise, and I haven't forgot everything, and I downloaded a bunch of stuff like specs and service parts and all this stuff, and have them stored where things that are same between bikes. So there's a lot of torque specs and all that stuff I have. So anyway, we'll do it as long as we can. At some point we'll even have to stop doing this, I guess. We have no problem. There's a place in Tigard that we order the parts for. It takes a while to get BMW parts anyway, but they're really good at shipping them out as soon as they receive them, so it's all good. Anyway, get back at her. I got the new cap on there, and I went straight forward. I did have to kind of blow everything out here so I could get the cowlings off, because I need to get to these two bolts and that one to get the hoses out and get the cap out, because this thing kind of captures the cap. It pops on it. It doesn't come through it. And how I was able to push that thing back far enough to get the drill bit through there is I put a little punch in there that was small enough to go through, make sure it's not hanging out too far, so if I slip, I auger myself. And got the little drill bit in there, and the ignition or the key switch just kind of pops out of there, just pulls all that back far enough that whoop, it just comes out. There's the broken cap. They can have it back for whatever reason. If I close it, there you go. Geez, forever sealed. You can actually reach in and pull those back and undo it. But anyway, comes with a new seal and everything. It's all in there. It's all nice and happy. Works nice and smooth. It's all clean up there now. The years go by, it gets kind of grungy. But that's it. Yeah, I had to take more stuff off than I anticipated. That's all right, because I couldn't move this out until I got the cups out, which you got to get the speaker grills out. It's just a step-by-step thing. And then that little thing that would normally be buttons on the left-hand side of your RT, I think it's your radio controls and stuff. But not that big of a deal. I got her done. No, it's just, well, I've already started putting it together, so I thought I'd stop and show you where I was at. That center screw in this thing is a mofo with their radio system in there. I always tell you guys about the Easy Red wrench. So an Easy Red that you can twist all around, and a little Harbor Freight 1/4 inch torque set. Perfect height to sit in there, kind of hold your finger on the top and just ratchet her out. Plus, perfect timing for getting in there and topping off his coolant bottle. It was halfway between max and minimum, so it was good. Just need to get it all back together. She's got the fresh oil. I haven't run it or reset the service or anything on it yet, so thought I'd just bop in and tell you where I was at. That's pretty cool. There she is. She's all tuned up. Got her new gas cap installed. Put this SW Motec mount thing back on there, which made replacing that kind of funky because it's a new seal that's underneath there, and hasn't quite found its home. Well, it's kind of a balancing act between getting this on, because you have to have this ring off to get this off. So get it on and get the bolts lined up when you can't see underneath there. But luckily the seal has little nubs, so to speak, that it pops into and keeps it aligned, so it wasn't too bad. I don't know what they banging on that thing. Looks like they got a coating on there. But yeah. Well, she goes upstairs tomorrow for tires. It needs tires as well. Or that. It's ready to roll. Old RT. This is a 1200 2018, I think it is. Yeah, 2018 1200RT-P. What a beauty. Good old RT. Well, hello there, YouTube. Man, is it beautiful out here.
It is gorgeous.
Well, the temperature is a whole lot cooler here than it was in Vancouver. Of course, that was over an hour ago, too. But nice breeze, birds in the tree right next to us. Very nice. The nights have been so cool at night. The nice breeze coming in here, just so comfortable. Don't have to have no air conditioners going or fans or nothing. Well, Christy used to have those fans going when we first get there because
it's still hot.
Yeah, it gets hot on her side of the house for whatever reason. But yeah, that was a fun day tinkering around with batteries and beamers. But anyway, I think on that, we're just gonna roll on out on you.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up, and you guys have a wonderful Friday or Saturday.
Heck yeah. All right.
We'll see you
Finally,
in the morning.
We'll see you on Friday.
Yes.
I've been a day ahead all week now.
Yes, he has. It's finally going to be
I'll
Friday.
Finally, yeah. Thought it was Thursday forever. Well, now I can forget about Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. All right. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.